This week's eShop sale, it's been a little different. There's still over 2,000 games on offer, but it's taken a lot more digging to get to the good stuff. Now what I've found though are some great deals, and there's just a ton of AAA classics and RPGs packed in here. So today I'm going to be running you through 11 games covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. My name's Alex, so this is SwitchCorner, and if you do enjoy the video, consider subscribing. We're pushing for 60,000 subscribers, so each and every one of you makes a huge difference. I also then have 2 winners to announce later in the video for 2 $10 eShop gift cards and 2 more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and those winners they'll be announced in next week's video. So let's start the week big. The Monster Hunter Ryza and Sunbreak DLC bundle gets a massive 50% off a new low price. Now if you have to adjust the base game, that is on sale too, matching the low, and also Sunbreak the DLC, that gets a new low price as well. So if you just want that, jump in there. Now this game, it doesn't need much of an introduction. It pitches you against colossal monsters where you will power up, earn new gear and then of course repeat. It plays best then as well with friends online. The DLC of course pushes the adventure forward, although admittedly I haven't spent as much time with the expansion as I would have liked. I actually need to dive back in myself. At this price though, I don't think you can go wrong, and it performs perfectly on the hardware. I also love the new mechanics here as well, like the wire bug which sends you ziplining all over the place. You can find my review in the pinned comments. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is up next. This matches the low with 50% off. It is another one I reviewed, but not on my channel. I actually put the script together for the gents over at SwitchUp, so I will be linking that video below. Now for anyone who knows or enjoys this series, this entry is a must buy. It bundles 2 games that chart the lineage of what could be considered, I guess, the ancestors of Phoenix, right? And it spans over 10 cases in later 19th century Japan and England. You'll encounter some notable characters such as Sherlock Holmes, who of course they have here. They've been renamed. The gameplay is as great as ever though, sticking to the series' tried and tested formula of investigating, interrogating and engaging in legal battles. There's also a ton of content here as well. For your cash, you're looking at an easy 50 hours of gameplay, if not more. It really kind of depends on your skill level. Some really fun cases in here as well to overcome. Eastward is a game I spoke to just a few weeks back now when it was on sale in the UK, EU and Australia. Now it is the US and Canada's turn, so I had to give it another quick shout out. It is a new low price here, 50% off, and it's an action RPG that often gives me a Zelda vibe, and the world in general, it's one of my favourites of recent memory. Expect here exploration, dungeon crawling, puzzles, and the ability to control both characters. That adds a really unique dynamic to the gameplay. Very few complaints from me. I think this price is a steal. Melty Blood type Lumina is back, matching the low price with 50% off. Now this was a game I featured in my top fighters for the Switcher list. I'll be linking that in the pinned comment below. Oddly, it's a spin-off of a romance visual novel, and it features 14 fighters within the base game, but you can add more via paid DLC. Now the story mode is where it kind of intertwines the visual novel aspect of the series by breaking down each character's arc, I guess. This didn't personally resonate with me, honestly, but I did think the core fighting was fantastic. So yeah, that's what I came here for personally. Visuals are stunning as well, and the game also includes online play, a gallery, and even some customization options. A quick self-plug, I know many of you would have been expecting the website to be live by now, but it is scheduled to launch at 12 midday PST tomorrow. That is September 24th. I ran into some issues, and I've got someone running through final checks and SEO for me. Currently learning just all sorts of new stuff. The site will go live though alongside a review for Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, Slaps and Beans 2. I'll also have a brief video here tomorrow for you all, giving you a little, I guess, guided tour and introducing you to what you can expect. Additionally, a deals video will mark the inauguration of XPCorner as a channel transitioning from PlayStation Corner right around that same time. Find all of the links and that jazz down below. KLONOA Phantasy Reverie series is a 2-game bundle that I was excited to see release on the Switch. Having never had the chance to play them in their entirety, this was finally my opportunity. The series is unique as well. It's blending together side-scrolling adventure with 3D design elements. This bundle, it was put together then to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the series, and it even throws in some additional costumes for good measure. Now I do wish they'd done maybe a little bit more with the bundle. It feels a
tad, I guess, bare bones in my opinion, not really a celebration. However, I can't really fault the quality of the platforming. The game just gets creative throughout with boss encounters or locations that involve mechanics such as dealing with shifting gravity. The only real catch here is that the game has some minor performance issues. Honestly, didn't really dampen the experience for me too much personally, and I do think this new low price 60% off is a great deal, and you'll see my full review in the pinned comments. AI, the Somnium fails Nirvana initiative. It continues the AI adventure, and as always, there is a strong emphasis here on narrative and investigation. Consider this a fair warning, it is borderline visual novel, and one thing you should know as well is the puzzles in the game, they can be challenging, but also occasionally obscure. However, that is a minor complaint considering just the fantastic overall experience. In fact, it's the story you should really be here for, hence I mentioned visual novel. It is really good stuff. This one revolves around the discovery of half a corpse. It was a murder that actually occurred 6 years ago, but now the missing half just randomly turned up, and oddly enough, it is in a fresher state, free from decay. How does this happen? Well, that is now your mission to uncover the truth behind this case. Incredible game, it's 51% off, and yes, it has been slightly cheaper, but we really don't see it on sale all that often. Our first winner of the week, then, it's going to Beebs, who was working on the backlog. Let's see what they are doing this week. Congrats on the win. Drop me an email for the code. And everyone else, there is a second winner coming up here shortly. Steins Gate Elite is 80% off, that is matching the low price. Now this is a remaster of a unique visual novel that crossed over with the anime of the same name, and it actually uses scenes directly from it. You'll be following the journey of a group of friends as they discover the power to manipulate time and attempt to change the course of history. Your choices will actually determine the outcome of the story, leading to multiple possible endings, so basically a wealth of replayability. Naturally, if you're not into visual novels, I'd probably say don't come here, but do know, not a massive fan of the genre either, but this was the game that kind of converted me, and thanks to this, I discovered incredible experiences such as the aforementioned AI. Atelier Ryza 3 matches the low with a 25% discount. Now in this entry, a group of islands called the Kark Isles emerge near your hometown. Now we set off with our friends to investigate the ruins as well as a mysterious gate. What follows is a hunt for the code of the universe, and that is meant to save our home. This series is just fantastic, and over the years it's become a personal favourite of mine. Here it basically dials everything up, think open world exploration, 11 party members, a key system that unlocks new features, and then there's the usual modified turn-based combat. This combat system works so incredibly well in my opinion, and these games are some of the best looking games on the hardware. If you haven't played the first two entries as well, those are also on sale right now. They are matching the low price with a 50% discount. The Star Wars Heritage Pack gets a new low of 60% off, and this is just a quick mention as there's a lot of game in here for your cash, so I'll link to my individual reviews down below in the pinned comment. I think I've covered maybe 5 or 6 of the games packed in here. They're not all perfect ports honestly, but I do think for Star Wars fans like me it is going to be worth the time. It brings together Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, Episode 1 Racer, Republic Commando, The Force Unleashed, Knights of the Old Republic, as well as the sequel. The only Star Wars games we are missing here are the Lego Entry and Pinball. Some of these games are classics with good reason, and while Aspyr, the publisher, didn't always treat them or the fans with the respect they do deserve, I do genuinely think this is a great price. Trinity Trigger hits a new low price, 40% off. I generally enjoyed this one, though it did have its issues. For example, I didn't think the story quite delivered. It's also a rather generic just save the world scenario, I guess. But if you are seeking a more laid back action RPG game that's influenced by Secret of Mana, then this is going to be worth a look. The enemies were unique, the combat was solid, and I particularly liked the visual design. The concept of pets transforming into almost weapons as well are just a great element to the gameplay as well. They act as these companions throughout the story, and they are really likable. A final note, this isn't the longest entry in the genre. It takes around 12 hours to complete the main story, and I'd say then at a push maybe 15 to 20 if you include a side quest. You'll find my full review in the pinned comments. ML11 is our second winner, who just shouted out that the sales do not stop, and that seems to have been the case pretty much in general for the whole of 2023. Congrats on the win, drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Mega Man Battle and Network Collection is by far my favourite sale of this week. It is a series of tactical role-playing games set in the fantastic Mega Man universe. Now this bundle brings together 10 games, so it's a whole lot of gameplay for the price. This is actually a 2-game bundle in one as well, but I would avoid buying them separately as even though they are on sale, they are $30 each. Now, as for the structure of the games, if we draw a parallel to Pokemon, there are actually 2 versions of each entry from the 3rd game onwards, but these differences, they are, I guess, minor, such as the encounters you will face. It also then includes a gallery of art and music as well as online play. The battle system in this game, I don't think you can beat it personally, and it's 33% off then a new low price. I actually did a sponsored video on this release, I'll link that down below. It was a great video to produce, being a massive fan of the series. And that is the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let us know in the comments down below. With that, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.